and they've been working on these scenes. You just get a quick little 20-page middle section of the play. So in no way, shape, or form you're going to get the whole feel of the play. But I will give you a little backstory. So the setup is there are these two kind of upper middle class / lower upper class Manhattanite families. And their two young sons have just gotten into an altercation at the playground. And they've fought. So these two families are trying to come together and be very civil and discuss how to deal with this situation. So enjoy. Got courage. Thanks.
I see you're a great art lover.
Art, photographs. To some extent, it's my job.
I adore bacon.
Ah, yes. Bacon.
Cruelty, majesty.
Chaos. Balance.
That's right.
Is Ferdinand interested in art?
Not as much as he should be. What about your children?
We try. We try to fill in the gaps in the educational system.
Yes?
We try to make them read, to take them to concerts and to exhibitions. We're eccentric enough to believe in the pacifying abilities of culture.
And you're right.
Clafouti! Now is that a cake or is that a tart? I mean, that's a serious question. I was in the kitchen thinking about it. Linsentorte, for example. Now is that a cake or is that a tart?
Clafouti's a cake. The pastry's not rolled out and mixed in with the fruit.
You really are a cook.
I love it. The thing about cooking is you have to love it. In my view, it's only the classic tart, as they say on a pastry base that deserves to be called a tart.
Oh, what about you? Do you have any other children?
Oh, yeah, some from my first marriage.
I'm sorry, I was just wondering. Look, it's not that big of a deal, but who started the fight? Bruno hasn't really said a blind word about it.
Bruno refused to let Ferdinand join his gang.
Bruno has a gang.
Yeah, you also call Ferdinand a grass?
Did you know Bruno had a gang?
No, that's fantastic!
Why is that fantastic?
Well, I had my own gang.
Me too!
And what does that entail?
Oh, it's 5 or 6 guys really dedicated to you. You know, ready to sacrifice themselves. It's like Spartacus.
Absolutely. Spartacus.
Who knows about Spartacus these days?
They use a different model. It's, Spider-Man.
Anyway, clearly you know more than we do. And Ferdinand hasn't been as silent as you led us to believe. And do we know why Bruno called him a grass? I'm sorry, that's stupid. That's a stupid question. First of all, I couldn't care less. Also, it's none of my business.
Can't get involved in children's quarrels.
And it's none of our business.
Nope.
On the other hand, what is our business is what unfortunately happens. Violence is always our business.
You know, when I had my own gang, I was about 12 years old. I fought David Luntz in hand-to-hand combat. He was bigger than me.
Michael, what are you talking about? What does that got to do with it?
I mean, you're right. It's got nothing to do with it.
We're not discussing single combat. The children weren't fighting.
I know. I suddenly had a memory.
There's really not that big a difference, you know.
Oh, yes, there is. Excuse me, sir. There's a very big difference.
There's a very big difference.
What is that?
When I fought David Luntz, well, we had agreed to fight.
And did you beat the shit out of him?
I mean, up to a point.
Right, shall we forget about him? Would you allow me to speak to Ferdinand?
By all means.
I would want to do it without your permission.
Speak to him. What could be more natural?
Yeah, good luck.
Stop it, Alan. I don't understand you.
Well, Mrs. thinks that...
Veronica! This will work out a lot better stop using Mr. and Mrs.
Veronica! You're motivated by an educated impulse, which is really sympathetic, but
If you don't want me to speak to him, I won't speak to him.
no, you know what? Read in the right act. Speak to him. Do what you like.
I don't understand why you don't seem to care about this.
Mrs.
Look, Veronica.
Veronica. Of course I care. Enormously. I mean, our son has injured another
On
child.
purpose.
You see, that's the kind of remark that floats my back up. Obviously on purpose.
But that makes all the difference.
The difference between what and what? That's what we're talking about. Our son picked a mistake and hit your son. That is why we're here, isn't it?
This is pointless.
She's right, okay? This kind of argument is pointless.
Why do you feel the need to slip in on purpose? What kind of message is that supposed to be sending me?
Listen, we're on a slippery slope. My husband is desperate about all sorts of other things. I'll come back this evening with Ferdinand, and we'll let things sort themselves out naturally.
I'm not in the least desperate.
Well, I am.
There is nothing to be desperate about.
Yes,